Hey guys, it's Core Ross and 116 News. Today we have the status update for Anti-Cheat and this is May 2024. We'll start with the team update. So our Anti-Cheat team is evolving. We're currently restructuring, growing and allocating more resources to our anti-cheating team, ensuring that we can provide a secure future for Siege. As the team expands, we will have more opportunities to reflect the benefits of this growing team in game. While we're in this stage, our team remains focused on improving your experience. Now we'll take a look at the PC stuff in a second, but we'll go over the Mousetrap updates because this will be a bit quicker. It's just a couple of paragraphs here and it is kind of interesting to read, but nothing's majorly happening until Season 4. So they say Mousetrap is a system designed to detect spoofing devices which enable the use of mouse and keyboard on consoles. Changes implemented in Season 1 have broadened its detection capabilities, allowing us to find more suspicious players. Let me know if you feel like there has been an improvement over the time of Season 1. I'd love to know in the comments below. And they say this season we are also focused on your feedback, with most changes being aimed towards enhancing our current system. So the 0.3 patch, which was mid-season, is helping to further increase the accuracy of Mousetrap by expanding on types of devices that it can recognize and improving the detection of currently identifiable devices. As well as this, the update is working to further minimize false positives, resulting in fewer controller players being incorrectly detected. So yeah, that's good, and I'm glad there actually has been some updates with the most recent patches and stuff. Hopefully it is going to pay off. But this one's the really interesting part. So Mousetrap penalties and matchmaking. As we've seen up here, they're still dealing with false positives. So they can't do like full-on bans or anything because there is controller players still being detected with a false positive detection, unfortunately. But in Year 9 Season 4, which is about 6 months from now, when I'm making this video, we'll be making use of Mousetrap detection in new ways, directly improving the experience for controller players. So this is really interesting. In this upcoming Season 4 update, if a player is detected using a spoofing device 3 times, so just 3 times total, the updated crossplay system will automatically place them into a PC matchmaking pool for 90 days. That is quite interesting. Of course, that's not like full-on bans, but putting someone into the PC matchmaking for 90 days is a long-ass period. And they also say something interesting here, which is while giving users of the spoofing devices a choice on how they want to play the game. Now, preferably, I would love this to be an actual choice. So, for instance, I do believe there probably will be an option just to go into PC queues willingly. And I would also just love it if you could have native support for mouse and keyboard, and then those players just go straight into the PC queue. It would be nice if it was an actual choice. So I wonder if it will be, or if it is just going to be that you get attacked 3 times and get kicked over, and that's your choice in air quotes. But certainly this whole part is very interesting to read. I do wonder how this will pan out. First off, will this actually make it for Season 4? That's the biggest thing for me. Will it get delayed and end up in Year 10? They also say in this upcoming Year 9 Season 4 update, which opens up the possibility of it being like a mid-season update for Season 4, which would push it into the next year. So we'll see, but definitely really quite an interesting read. And it's good to see they're doing some things now, but Season 4 in about 6 months, I'm very curious to see how that'll play out. But let's jump to the PC stuff and go over that, and then we'll go and do a conclusion on the whole lot at the end. So we've got bans, data bans, and BattlEye. You can see the BattlEye bans are in red, and then the data bans are put on top of that, so you can see they are pushed up onto it, and they increase the total number of bans. So you can see we had a peak back in March, and that's dropped down to this level in April, and we've had high bans, and then the lowest was actually back in December. So yeah, to me, I don't usually get much information out of these bans. It obviously just shows that they are banning people, but I can't really break that down any more usefully than that. Then we've got the data bans and additional detections here. So they talk about how they've changed the way they work. So we heard at the start of the year they were bringing in machine learning that was going to help to ban. They also talk about DDoS attacks here and banning those players, which has worked for me. I had a ranked game that went down to be like really laggy, and we lost the game. And then within the week, there was a ban wave that hit all console players with a bunch of people getting banned for DDoS, and I ended up getting my rank points back for that game. So That's the first time that's ever happened for me on console, so that was very, very nice. They also talk about looking at going after the AFK players as well, so the botters who are just trying to level up their carders, which obviously can then just be used to cheat in the future and stuff like that. So they're going after the AFK guys too. But overall, you know, this is good. It's a nice additional thing that can help be going after players that are cheating, and yeah, it's something at least there. And then they talk about how they're trying to make things better. So of course there'll be a link in the description below if you want to go read all this yourself. And this is pretty much the usual stuff. They talk about how the cheating has definitely increased this year, and they're trying to kind of get on top of it, but obviously they're having a lot of issues. There's been a crash exploit too that's been able to be used, and they've reduced the penalty for getting kind of kicked out of a game down to just 5 minutes now. They're also, of course, trying to address the cheats. They're trying to harden the game against hackers and all that. They talk about the QB system again, which makes it more difficult for cheats to be made. And yeah, usual stuff we've gone over previously. And then we have an update to cadence and UX improvements, which seems to be wanting to like tell you when things need to be done and be more kind of transparent. Like with the QB system, for instance, the game has to be relaunched every so often so it can do an update, and it will just be more visible that it lets you know that those kind of things need to be done. But most of this, you know, biggest takeaway is they're still having major issues with everything. And I think that takes us into the conclusion. So big conclusion here for me is the fact they talk about restructuring. That's worrying, you know, restructuring their anti-cheat team at this point. That's, you know, dangerous, and it will take a while for that to then spin up and be productive. So a bit of a worry. Growing is good, and allocate more resources, of course, good. And yeah, it's a pity, of course, those resources need to be put towards anti-cheat. They could go to other things, but when you got a lot of cheers, you have to. But what I would take away from this is there's no new anti-cheat. What they're doing is they're building stuff on what already exists as their foundation, so BattlEye isn't going anywhere or anything like that. There is no new anti-cheat. There's no major like upheaval of the system or anything like that. So instead, it is just going to be you know, restructuring, growing, and try to figure stuff out in different ways. Hopefully they get on top of it, but it's going to be tough. Then we have Mousetrap. I'm kind of impressed with this, but I am doubtful it will actually hit with Season 4. And I do like the potential. It's not a full-on ban for players, but if you get detected 3 times, which is not much, and then you're in the PC player base for 90 days, I love that. You could imagine how many players might end up out of the ranked console ranked playlist for that, and that'll be all the playlists too. So there's a lot of potential. I like it. And then they've got their conclusion here too. So in conclusion, our dedication to upholding the integrity and fairness of Rainbow Six Siege is unwavering. Our goal this year is to make Rainbow Six Siege both more secure and more reactive when it comes to cheating. Through a multifaceted approach encompassing machine learning and data bans, rigorous hardening, and innovative detection systems such as QB and Mousetrap, we are continuously following up on our commitment to safeguarding the gaming experience for all. And I'm still worried that AI cheats will show up within probably the next year, and then it's a whole new problem. But that is the anti-cheat status update for May 2024. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.